Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. His name is Jimmy the Bag. This is the Loshak the Bag Show for Tuesday afternoon, 6 o'clock Eastern Time, 3 o'clock Pacific Time, December 19th. Again, we talked about this before. We made a couple promos, but this is the last Loshak and the Bag Show for 1 week. It's going on hiatus. Then next Wednesday, it will come back, but only once a day at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. And then on January 3rd, on Wednesday, January 3rd, it will start up again full time. Twice a day. Okay, sorry. Let me just hook up my. Are you seeing the comments already, Jim?
Oh yeah.
All right. I just want to make sure that. All right. And also, other news is that I said that I was going to have to start tweeting out my college basketball plays, and I did. I tweeted out about 12 or 15. I don't even know how many I tweeted out, but I tweeted out a lot, and it turned out that on most of them it didn't matter, but on one of them it did, Jim. Another under that I tweeted out, major line move, in my favor. So anyone who saw that tweet got the line that I tweeted it out. And of course, for these shows, I am going to be able to for my record, it's the lines when I tweet. And if I hadn't done that, I would have had to take the line now, which just like yesterday is like 7 points less than where I tweeted it out. And let me just get that on. All right. So once again, this is yes, and then we're going to be doing this. Let me see. We're going to be doing this. Tweeting stuff out all throughout college basketball season because that's the way it has to go. You know what I'm saying? So follow me at P. Loshak if you want those lines. Otherwise, if you want to tailor, you have to take them at this time. Sometimes the lines will move against me. That will definitely happen, But I feel like more often than not it won't, and I'm definitely glad that I did. What's the first comment that you see?
The first comment is, hey guys, can't wait for the best damn sports show ever.
Really? See, I think I probably missed that one. Let me get it. Don't worry, we'll get to we got a lot of stuff, a lot of shit to cover here. Let me just see what the first. Oh yes, excellent. All right, I got them all here. Spirital 8 says, Pete looks like Barney's crazy uncle. Thank you much. Thank you very much, Spirital 8. Yeah, I like Barney. I like that purple dude. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
All right, let's move in on no more bullshit. We got a lot of shit to cover. All right, so Jimmy the Bag, and one thing we will get to is in the NBA. I said I like the under in that friggin' Philly game, and you saw what happened, right? That line crashed now down to 205.5 from 209.
Well, I just heard on the live chat, which I didn't see on Roto World 10, 15 minutes ago, but saying that Embiid's not playing.
Oh, well, there you go. There's your answer. That makes me maybe I'll just stay the hell off of that one. All right, so as far as college basketball is concerned, I did get up to all the games up to 8 o'clock, and about half of the ones at 8 o'clock. And the other thing I will do is that, after the show, if there's more picks I'm liking, I'll tweet those shits out too, and I'll throw those onto my record as well, Jim.
Yep.
All right, so we got a lot of shit to cover. We don't want to be rushed. Let's move right into it. First segment is college basketball. All right, here are all the tweets that I tweeted out. Right, Jim? First tweets that I picked were the Dartmouth-Notre Dame game. I tweeted out the first half over 66 minus 115. That was a line at Bookmaker. And the full game over 141.5 minus 110. That was at the Greek. Then I tweeted out the Buffalo-Syracuse under, and that's the one that crashed. I tweeted it out at 147. It's now down to like 141. So that was a big line move that I beat there. And I also tweeted out the first half under, which was 69.5 when I tweeted it out. That's now down to like 66 or 66.5. So that's a perfect example of why I'm tweeting this shit out. Same thing happened yesterday. I gave the picks on the worst lines on the Eastern Carolina game. Luckily, I didn't get burned. It cashed easily, but mark my words. If you think line moves and getting the best number doesn't matter in college basketball, you'll learn. You fucking learn. It does matter. So those are 4 plays I tweeted out. I also tweeted out South Carolina Clemson under 138. That one has not moved at all. I also tweeted out the Citadel Ohio State first half over 83.5 minus 115. That was at Bookmaker. Citadel, of course, plays no defense. That's probably going to go over first half. I also tweeted out Eastern Tennessee State Detroit first half over 78.5 minus 108 at Pinnacle. Detroit plays very high scoring games, and I think Eastern Tennessee State will match them. I also tweeted out Canisius first half minus 1, full game minus 2 minus 105, and the under in that one, 143.5 minus 105. Those have not moved since I did that. I also tweeted out Cal Poly plus 20 against SMU minus 110. That was a market line. And my last one was Oral Roberts in Arkansas, first half over 72.5 minus 108 at Pinnacle, and the full game over 153 at the Greek. And again, Arkansas runs it up, and I think that Oral Roberts getting a little bit better offensively, so I think that one is more likely than not to go over. And those are all the picks that I have so far. Once again, for the games that I didn't have a chance to look in depth enough into to give official picks on, if I see anything I'm liking after this show on the 8 o'clock games, the 9 o'clock games, or 10 o'clock games, I will tweet them shits out, Jim.
Tweet them shits.
I'll tweet those shits.
Tweet them shits.
I will. All right, so that's it that I've got here for college basketball. Of course, I have looked at all the games with the 7 o'clocks and about half of the ones at 8 o'clocks. And Jim, you told me before you got a whole bunch of picks. What are you liking for college basketball tonight, Jim?
Well, let's get into the first game that starts in 22 minutes. I'm taking Marshall on the full game. This is a big spread. Xavier's coming off a 68-66 win over East Tennessee State, where they came back from a 22-point deficit. It was a costly game as they lost their number 2 and number 3 scores. Now, they may be in the lineup. You guys might know better than me because they're questionable, but J.P. McCurra and Kaiser Gates are questionable at this point. They've won 38 non-conference home games in a row. The Musketeers have already won at Wisconsin and defeated Baylor, crosstown rival Cincinnati. That's a tourney resume. The only loss was to now number 3 ranked Arizona State. But the Thundering Herd have won 4 straight, coming off a 99-96 win, overtime win over Ohio. Junior forward Panava went off for 33 points, 15 boards, 9 blocks in that game. Junior guard John Elmore went for 20 points, 10 boards, 10 assists. Both players will be trouble for Xavier. Tyreek Jones, Kareem Cantor, Sean O'Mara will take turns on Panava, but I'm getting 20 plus, and I'll take it.
That's right. So you want Marshall here. The line is plus 20.5, minus 110 at a few places. I don't even freaking remember what I think about that game, but I did handicap it, and I decided to pass on it. Always full game, first half totals and everything. Marshall plus 20.5, minus 110. That is the line right now at BetOnline. A few other places appears to be headed down at Pinnacle. All right, Jim's taking Marshall plus 20.5. What else do you like, Jim?
I like it, and my man Elio Rodriguez is with me. He says Xavier is tired. I like it. I'm also taking now. I know that my man Max was on this game, and then Big Man doesn't agree with this play, and it worried him. I don't know if he's going to stay on it or not, but I am taking Buffalo to cover double digits at Syracuse. 6'10", 241-pound junior Kenneth Smart made his season debut, and the Bulls need him desperately. He will be able to bang down low with 6'8", Syracuse freshman O'Shea Brissett, who averages 9.7 rebounds a game. In his first game, he got 12 points on 6 for 6 shooting, got 6 boards in just 21 minutes. They now have 6 players in double figures, although Dante Carruthers is out with an injury. Junior C.J. Massenberg averages 20 points, 7.8 boards. He will have his hands full with Tyus Battle, but I'm going to take this.
Okay, it is plus 10.5, minus 110 at a bunch of places. That's a market line. Pinnacle has 10.5, minus 113. Taking Buffalo, yeah. And interestingly, again, I gave that pick on the under at 147. It crashed all the way down to 140 recently. Now it's headed back up, so you never friggin' know. It's only at 142 at Pinnacle right now, but not up to 147. But some recent money did come in on Syracuse. So as we've seen many, many times, we'll never forget the mother of all line moves that was wrong. Happened very, very early in the season. It was that Montana State game where the game opened at 148, closed at 158, and went way, way under. So a lot of times these line moves, can lose. And all right, what else are you liking, Jim?
Our guy Dave Wolf wants a shout out to his man Scotty, a first-time watcher.
Oh, very nice, Scotty, first-time watcher.
Thank you for running. I'm taking Clemson tonight. Over South Carolina, full game. Gamecocks have 9 players averaging double-digit minutes, led by 6'9" junior forward Chris Silva, averages 13.7 points, 8 boards a game. They also have 6'9", 249-pound freshman Felipe Haas. He bangs the boards. And Clemson plays its starters a ton. That's not a great thing moving forward. All 5 average double figures. Only one of them that it doesn't average 30 minutes a game. That's 6'9", 235-pound junior big man Elijah Thomas. And he doesn't just because of foul trouble. 6'8" senior forward Dante Grantham does a little bit of everything for Clemson. Averages 15.5 points, 5.9 boards. After beating Florida State, Clemson wants to prove itself in this rivalry game. I'm taking Clemson. All
right. I would actually be vaguely disagreeing with you on that one, but I certainly don't want to talk you off of it. It's split line 7 or 7.5. Best line is the Greek. Clemson minus 7, minus 110. I was definitely leaning South Carolina on this one. Of course, it's a rivalry game. South Carolina doesn't have the scorers that they had last year, but they still have the same system. And so I took the under. That's one of my official picks. That one has not moved at all. And I would have a lean to South Carolina on the full game and maybe the first half as well. But that's just me, Jim. You might be, last time in my memory that this happened was in the Dartmouth-Illinois-Chicago game where I was thinking Dartmouth plus 6 was the play. Illinois-Chicago won easily, and Jim was totally right about that one. So, all right, what else do you have for us, Jim?
I am taking, and I know this is, people might not be into this, but I'm taking Arkansas State on the first half line at Wichita State. We've spoken about it all NCAA basketball season that Wichita State chooses when they turn it on, and they rarely turn it on in the first half. They're coming off a 91-83 loss to Oklahoma and Trae Young. That worries me, that they might be angry. Durrell Willis Jr., Shaquille Morris will be very tough for the Red Wolves to deal with, obviously. But Arkansas State, big 64-63 win over Florida Atlantic, their first road win of the season. They're led by 6'4" senior guard Devin Sims, 16.8 points, 6.2 boards. They don't have a lot of size, but 6'7" Tristan Wally averages 5.2 boards. 6'8" West African Salif Boudy is getting more and more playing time. I'm going to take Arkansas State on the first half line.
Okay, that one also makes me nervous, Jim, because, again, when Wichita State ramps it up, they ramp it up. And coming off the loss, they might ramp it up early here. But the line, it's a huge line, of course, 16.5 or 17 plus 17 minus 110 is a market lot wide number right now. So Arkansas State first half plus 17 minus 110. And again, that's a game. I did get a chance to handicap that game in depth, and I am staying way the fuck off that game. That game scares the shit out of me. I'm not touching that game either which way. Obviously, it's a massive line for Wichita State, but when Wichita State ramps it up, they can cover massive spreads. Not even touching the total there. Might have a play in the second half, but even that is probably going to be a pass for me, although we'll see. Total pass for me as far as pregame is concerned. What else do you have, Jim?
I'm taking Northern Kentucky at Texas A&M. The Norse won 24 games in the Horizon League a year ago, made their first ever tournament appearance, losing to Kentucky, number 2 seed Kentucky 79-70. 3 of the Norse 4 losses have come by combined 5 points. Northern Kentucky has allowed just one opponent to shoot better than 50% from the floor. 8 different players are averaging 15 or more minutes per game, led by 6'7", 250-pound junior Drew McDonald with 16.1 points, 7.3 boards. He is their biggest starter. But the Aggies just lost third leading scorer Edmund Gilder to a knee injury, and 6'10" Aggie big man Robert Williams is out tonight. His 10.4 boards are also out. That will leave the heavy lifting on the boards to 6'10", 266-pound junior center Tyler Davis, and all of the scoring to DJ Hogg. I think Northern Kentucky can do some damage tonight. All
right, that line, of course, has moved because of everything that you cited. It's now 11.5. The best line is plus 11.5, minus 105. That's the line right now at Bookmaker, plus 11.5, minus 105. This is a game I looked into. I was thinking about taking a shot with the under here. I didn't tweet it out. It hasn't moved yet. In fact, it's now up to a 147 at some places. Obviously, Northern Kentucky can play a very high-paced brand of basketball, and so can Texas A&M, but more often than not, they play it a little bit slower scoring. All right, this is a borderline play for me, but I will take that one just on the full game. Texas A&M under 147. Best line is under 147, minus 109. That's the line at Pinnacle right now. I will take that one. Borderline play, but I'll throw that one on as an official play. Under 147, minus 109, and Jim's going to take Northern Kentucky plus 11.5, minus 105. All right, what else do you have for us?
Nice. I got Billy Jolly on it. I got Elio Rodriguez on it, too. That gives me some peace. Okay, I'm taking Georgia Tech at Georgia. Taking Georgia Tech. Josh Okogie made his season debut. 25-point victory over Florida A&M. He looked very good. Put up 19 points in 28 minutes. Getting back just in time for a big rivalry game with Georgia. He combines with Tadrick Jackson to provide a nice 1-2 punch at guard. They went 5 for 6 from 3 against A&M. Senior Ben Lammers will dominate inside. Georgia's coming off a disappointing loss to Massachusetts. Jordan's leading scorer, Mayton, averages 18.7 points, 9.3 boards. He's a good player. William Jackson will have his hands full with Okogie, and I just like this spot.
All right. I did not have a chance to look at that game. It's certainly an interesting game. If I have an opinion on it, I will. If I have a strong opinion on it, I will tweet that bitch out. Right now, it's a 5.5 minus 106. Current best line at the Pinnacle on Georgia Tech. Plus 5.5 minus 106. All right. What else do you have for us, Jim?
I am taking USC, and it's perfect timing because my man Joe D just wrote it in on the live chat. I am with you, Joe. I'm taking USC on the full game. Princeton's led by 3 guards who each play over 30 minutes a game. 6'8", 225-pound freshman Sebastian Much is their only big, and he averages just 2.5 rebounds in 18 minutes. Maytu and Boatwright are going to completely dominate this game, and now big man just told me Tadrick Jackson's out. And that's bad news.
Okay.
But staying on it, thank you for the heads up, big man. Thank you so much. That helps so much because I can hit the other side of it.
Well, that sure doused your momentum there.
It did douse my momentum. I was
fucking raring to go.
I was raring to go. But I just think Meitu and Boatwright are going to completely dominate this game. And I'm taking USC on the full game.
All right, minus 14.5, minus 110 is the best line right now at multiple places. And again, that is a game that I did not look at in depth yet. I could easily see a second half play on that one way or the other, or play on the total. I will tweet those bitches out if I decide that I like them enough to stake my personal public reputation on the line with those plays, or as I've done with 200 plays so far this year. All right, what else do you like, Jim?
I'm taking the over in Drake at South Dakota State. 6'8", Drake Jr. Nick McGlynn will have his hands full with Jackrabbit star Mike Daum. Daum went up for 37 points and 12 boards last out versus Colorado. I had South Dakota on the money line in that game, and man, it was very, very close. David Jenkins continues to impress. Now, he'll have his hands full with Bulldog guard Reed Timmer, who averages 20 points a game. I think there's going to be a lot of offense. I'm taking the over here.
Okay, the best line, the Greek actually has an off-market number right now at 153.5. Everywhere else has 54.5, 55, 55.5, and some 54s. But the Greek wants the biggest, wants the lowest number here to attract, to avoid underaction, and they have 153.5 minus 110. So we can give you that one. South Dakota State over 153.5 minus 110. That's the current line at the Greek, Jim.
Okay, good.
That's a game that I did look at in depth. I was thinking about taking the over on that one, but then I held off on it. I'm thinking it could go either way. I'm probably going to look at a second half play on the total on this one, but as of right now, I'm staying off. I did look at that one a little bit carefully, and it makes me a little bit nervous. I don't necessarily disagree with your play on it, but I'm definitely off of it.
I feel you.
As far as the total is concerned. All right, what else do you like, Jim?
I'm taking the over in Mercer at Alabama. Holland is absolute beast, averages 22.3 points per game. He's put 57 points in his 2 games back from injury. He's hitting 61% from 3, 93% from the stripe. Crimson Tide star freshman will have his hands full with Holland, but I think there's going to be a lot of offense in this game, and I'm excited to watch it, and I'm taking the over here.
All right. Again, the Greek appears to have an off-market line here. I'm wondering if just the Greek feed is stalled out, which does sometimes happen. But as of right now, we will give you that one. The Greek line is, let me find it right now. It is 150, 150.5, or 151. But BetOnline has 149 minus 125, and the Greek has 149 minus 110. So I'm going to check the Greek right now. But if that is not a stale line, we will give you that one. Alabama over 149 minus 110, and that is the line right now at the Greek. Everywhere else is 150, so that's a reasonable line. I mean, Pinnacle has 150, so that might be a legit line. Let me just quickly check. Oh, shit. All right, okay.
Nice. Big man's on both those. That's a relief.
And what else do you like, Jim?
I am on UCLA this evening. I think that UCLA's 7-foot, 205-pounder senior Thomas Welsh will have his way around the rim. There's nobody who could possibly touch him. He's so much bigger than everybody on the floor. He's averaging a double-double on the year with 12.6 points, 10.6 boards. 6'1" junior Aaron Holiday is playing very well. He's the team's distributor. He's averaging 17.6 points, 3.4 boards, 5.4 assists. And then we've watched South Dakota pretty closely over the last week and a half, and I don't think they can run with UCLA. 6'3" junior guard Matt Mooney's the leader of South Dakota. He looks quite good. He's a good player. Averages slightly more points per game as a sophomore than he's doing this year, but he's really distributing the ball. He combines with 6'10", 235-pounder Tyler Hagedorn to deliver a nice inside-out game. But I think UCLA will take care of business. Okay,
and I just checked Greek's website, and those are actually those are accurate numbers. Those are up-to-the-minute numbers. So those are the numbers you're getting. Greek has off-market numbers, intentionally off-market numbers, which is what the Greek does. Alabama over 149 minus 110, and South Dakota State over 153.5 minus 110. And you want UCLA here. Let me just find who's that new viewer? Steve? Phil? What was his name?
What the hell was his name?
Do you think he's bored, or do you think he's enjoying himself? It just occurred to me.
You know what? I hope he likes college basketball.
Yeah, I hope he likes college basketball. Steve or Phil, whatever your name was. There sometimes Scotty. There are sometimes jokes in this show, but when there's a massive college basketball card, it's all it is fast-paced, intense college basketball picks and handicapping. And if you look at my record on the screen, that's a real fucking record. It comes through this show. But when it's not intense college basketball time, there are some nice jokes here and there. So it does come around. All right, so let's see UCLA. Let's see 7.5 or 8. The best line would be at BetOnline 7.5 minus 109. Okay, UCLA minus 7.5 minus 109. And is that it for you, Jim?
I have one final pick, one final play. I'm taking Arizona State on the full game line. The difference between this year's Arizona State team and the last two incarnations under Bobby Hurley is that this year's team has an inside presence. 6'8" freshman forward Romello White averages 9 boards a game. Then they just add the 6'7" Ohio State transfer Mickey Mitchell, who puts up 8 points, 13 boards in his debut versus Vanderbilt on Sunday. This team is getting better and better right in front of our eyes. Trey Holder's averaging 21.6 points per game, shooting 45% from 3. Shannon Evans is averaging 8.6 points, hitting 42% from 3. These Longwood Lancers are in big trouble. The best player, junior Isaiah Walton, who averages 17.2 points per game, missed the last game with injury. He's questionable tonight. It has not beaten an NCAA Division I team since January 4th. They stopped a 21-game losing streak by beating a Division III team. They're in trouble. They're in big trouble. 6'8" senior forward Damarian Getter leads the team in rebounds, has a good last name for jokes. I think they're in big trouble.
Okay, Arizona State, it's minus 37.
Yep.
Okay, minus 37, minus 110, 37 or 37.5 market wide, and that is a game that I did not look into, and I will almost definitely not have a play on that one. But if I do, I'll tweet that bitch out as well. All right, that's it for you, Jim, right?
That is.
All right, so let's review all the official picks that we've given, and then we'll go down, some of the games that I want to discuss game by game, and then I guess we can wrap it up with college basketball. I'll move on to NHL and NBA, which are also very interesting right now. No time for jokes. All we have is college basketball and a massive NHL card. All right, Jim has given Arizona State minus 37, Marshall plus 20.5, Buffalo plus 10.5, Clemson minus 7, Arkansas State first half plus 17, Northern Kentucky plus 11.5, Alabama over 149, UCLA minus 7.5, South Dakota State over 153.5, USC minus 14.5, and Georgia Tech plus 5.5. That's it for you, right, Jim?
That is.
All right. And my picks, the tweeted picks, were once again Dartmouth and Notre Dame. First half over 66 minus 115, and the full game over 141.5. The Buffalo Syracuse game, first half under 69.5, which moved a lot now up to 142, and the full game under, which was 147 when I tweeted it out. The South Carolina Clemson game under 138. Citadel, Ohio State, first half over 83.5 minus 115. Eastern Tennessee State, Detroit, first half over 78.5. Canisius, first half minus 1 and full game minus 2. And the under 143.5 in the Canisius game. Cal Poly plus 20. And the ORU Arkansas game, first half over 72.5 and the full game over 153. And in this show, the live show, I added Texas A&M game under 147 minus 109. Now let's look at some of the other plays that were kind of borderline for me. Let's see. Let's go down in chronological order. Dartmouth, Notre Dame gave that one. Buffalo, Syracuse, I gave that one. And it'll be interesting to see where that total lands, because it does appear to be headed just a little bit back up from its low of 140. The Canisius Elon game, look, Elon is it's all a matter of Elon's three-point shooting, right?
We have a hater. I told you he's the hater's out on the West Coast, so he always sleeps through our morning show.
Oh, that's why he's a lazy guy. The hater's on the West Coast. He's lazy. Why? What happened? What happened?
He just says everybody keep the dislikes coming. These losers average over 80 dislikes per show.
Yeah, and this guy says dislike this show. Fade, fade, fade. Why would he want someone in the public to hit 41% fading my college basketball plays? Why would he want that?
He's a hater. I know who it is.
But
he has to come in with a different name each time because we block him. We'll let him go for a bit, though.
He's jealous, and that's what I don't understand, because it's like even if this show gets canceled, right? The next show that becomes popular is not gonna be you. That's the point. You know what I'm saying? You got to work on what you're good at in life and do that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like this guy's second in line. It's not like in like a fucking the Russian monarchy, where it's like if you kill the guy on top, you become the czar. If this guy gets us out of here, he's still on the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like if we get fired, everyone will still hate you. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to worry about. You got to worry about that, not worry about why people like us. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, man.
Anyway, yes, Stephen Alice says, Pete, is this the hater you have a proposition for? Should I go for that?
Sure.
Okay. Dear hater, those dislikes and dislikes don't matter. You know what I'm saying? YouTube is not so stupid that you can buy 100 dislikes for $8 and get a show ruined because of the dislikes. What does matter though? Our records. Hater, I will sell you fake losses in my college basketball record. $500 per loss. fake losses in my college basketball record. That means for $5,000, you can add 10 fake losses to my college basketball record, which will still put it at like 56%. But for $10,000, you can buy 20 fake losses, and that will put me close to 500, right?
Yeah.
So just consider that. The likes and dislikes don't matter. The record does matter, and I will sell you fake losses in any sport. Obviously, NBA and football and NHL will be much more expensive, right? Because they're much more valuable there. But I will sell you fake losses. Let's see. I will sell you fake losses, $500 a piece in college basketball if you are really interested in making this show be less appealing to the viewers, because then I'll have to put that record up there,
Yeah, I like it.
All right, let's go. Let's move on. This is funny shit. All right, let me just save the comments here, and then we will move on. Oh, so he's on the West Coast, and he's a lazy hater, so he sleeps through them. Oh, there you go. I hear you. All right, so God, it must be killing him to watch my record up there on the screen.
Yeah, man, he hates it. I'm in the black in every single sport, too.
Because he sells picks, and his picks are probably, I'm guessing, like 51%. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, all right, so let's move on game by game. Elon Canisius, that game is all just about Elon's three-point shooting. Obviously, if they hit their three-point shots, they will get a win. But I made a bet that, I made a bet it first half and full game that their three-point shooting will be moderate, and that will probably cause the game to go under and Canisius to get a cover. But again, if Elon hits 45% from three-point, which they did in their last game, which they're entirely capable of doing here, then they will win the game, and the Canisius game and the Canisius bets will lose, which is why you do not want to go all in on any bet. And in fact, you probably don't want to bet any bet more than a 55% expectation of winning. Citadel, Ohio State, I took the first half over on that one. Eastern Tennessee, Detroit, I did take the first half over on that one, and I was thinking about giving Detroit at +8. I don't know if you looked into this game, Jim.
The Detroit game, I left alone. I left the Detroit game alone. It was
Eastern Tennessee State is good, but they're coming off of a tough spot, and if Detroit is motivated here, they could keep this within 8 at home, Jim.
Yes, and that they can. And that Eastern Tennessee State game they just came off of was a hugely impressive game for them.
Very impressive.
68-66 to a ranked opponent.
Massively impressive. So I'm on the first half over on that one, and I would be leaning Detroit +8, but I guess I will hold off on making that one an official pick. But that was one way I was thinking about. The Cleveland State-Niagara game, I was actually thinking about a shot with the under. Niagara, of course, is very high scoring, but Cleveland State is not, and I was thinking that this game might be worth a shot with the under. It's headed up, which is no surprise at all because all Niagara games go way over, but I'm going to hold off that one. South Carolina, Clemson, I did make the under an official pick, and Jim, I would be leaning South Carolina +7.5.
I think this is a statement game for Clemson. That's why I'm taking it. I don't like that they play their starters so much. I think that's a problem, but I really think Elijah Thomas should dominate this game if he stays out of foul trouble. And this is a statement spot after beating Florida State. They want to prove itself in this rivalry game, and I don't think South Carolina is that good. I mean, they have great coaching, they're strong defensively, and they do a lot of things well. But I think this is a spot where Clemson needs to announce to the world.
Announce to the world.
Yeah.
Announce to the world that they have an edge over their in-state rival. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to just stick with the full game, which of course under, which I tweeted out. And as far as the spread's concerned, I'm going to hold off, but I might be looking at a second half play on that one. And then the Ole Miss game, nothing on that one. Then moving into the 8 o'clock games that I did look at, the Auburn-Murray State game is very interesting. I don't know if you looked at that one, Jim, but if you did, you will know that is a very interesting game. Did you look into that one at all?
I didn't.
You didn't. Okay. I would have a lean to the under on that one, despite the fact that both these teams can go very high scoring. I'm thinking that because it is an intense game, and Auburn is really impressive now. They're rebounding a lot better, but Murray State is a team that can hang with a team like this. They might not be able to though. And hold on a second. And my lean would be to the under. I'll have to think about whether I want to give that one officially or not. The Texas A&M under, that was a borderline play for me. I did wind up giving it. The Texas Tech is also a game that I wanted. I was leaning towards the under on that one as well. It opened at 146. I missed that one. I was thinking about tweeting out, 142 or 142.5. It's now, that's still where it is right now. Have a lean to the under on that one. Cal Poly is an interesting game. Of course, SMU is playing on a back-to-back, and Cal Poly very, very up and down. Right early in the year, they played, some decent games against some nice teams, right? Santa Clara, a decent team, right? People talked about how Santa Clara was a team that might be a good bet to beat Valparaiso yesterday. And Cal Poly went and beat them outright, right? They hung with Cal, within single digits. And SMU's on a back-to-back. So but then again, Cal Poly got absolutely, you talked about how you don't like Princeton, right?
Yes.
Cal Poly got blown out by Princeton in their last game, right?
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that it's a little bit fluky, a little bit illusory. And so I did throw Cal Poly on there at plus 20. That might be a loss, but if it's, I'm willing to take a shot with it. And then also a slight lean to the under in Illinois, Chicago, and Illinois State. And that's, again, another borderline play just like the other one. And I'll throw that one on there. I'll throw that one on there too. Illinois State, what the hell? Under 144.5. Under 144.5 minus 110. That's the line currently at Bookmaker. I'll throw that one on there. Illinois State, Illinois, Chicago, under 144.5 minus 110. And
with Illinois, Chicago, when I had them to beat Dartmouth, it was because they had this massive size advantage with Ty Odiasi, Clint Robertson, Jordan Blount, Michael Diggins, and they don't have that advantage over Illinois State at all. So that's why even though I enjoyed winning with them, I just can't take them again here.
Right, and I will take a shot with it here. Let me just put save page here one more time because I do love for these comments. But again, I don't even have time to read these fucking comments because it's so intense with college basketball. This is what college basketball is. They call it March Madness, but if you're handicapping it day in, day out, the madness fucking starts in December, right, Jim?
Oh, fuck.
The madness is now, baby.
The madness is now.
I'm losing my fucking mind, but I love it. Love handicapping college basketball. All right. So I am, and once again, all these college basketball players, if you tell me, I hope you have success, but if you overbet the edges, you will lose anyway, right? You will lose anyway. If you bet, a 58% play as though it's a 70% play, you will lose very quickly, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I guess that's about it. And once again, if there's any other plays that I like from the 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock games, or 10 o'clock games, I will tweet them out, and they will count on my official record. And I'm thinking that during the hiatus, I'll do the same thing. If I see anything I like, including NBA or NHL or whatever, I'll tweet all that shit out.
Sure.
And that'll count on my record, right?
Sure.
Because Lord knows, if I see a play in NBA that I really like and I'm right about it, I don't want that to, go to waste because I need to make up some numbers in NBA. So can we wrap this shit up, Jim?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I will review all the picks. Once again, Jim likes, these are his official picks in college basketball. Arizona State minus 37, Marshall plus 20.5, Buffalo plus 10.5, Clemson minus 7, Arkansas State first half plus 17, Northern Kentucky plus 11.5, Alabama over 149, UCLA minus 7.5, South Dakota State over 153.5, USC minus 14.5, and Georgia Tech plus 5.5. And I've added 2 plays in the live show: Texas A&M under 147 and Illinois State under 144.5. I did, of course, bet those. Any borderline play that I say is borderline, I've definitely bet. It's just like, do I want to stake my public reputation on it and expose myself to the haters if it loses? All right, those are my 2 plays that I added, and the plays that I tweeted out were Dartmouth Notre Dame over first half and full game, over 66 first half, 141.5 full game. Buffalo Syracuse first half under 69.5 and full game under 147. South Carolina Clemson under 138. Citadel Ohio State first half over 83.5 minus 115. Eastern Tennessee State, Detroit first half over 78.5. Canisius first half minus 1 and full game minus 2. And the Elon Canisius game under 143.5. Cal Poly plus 20. And ORU Arkansas first half over 72.5. Full game over 153. And leans that I'm thinking about but not including would be Detroit plus 8. Would be South Carolina plus 7.5, and would be what else? I guess that, and would be Auburn Murray State under 157. That might be a decent play. Maybe I should throw that one on there. You know what I mean? They might D up in this game. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah.
They might D the fuck up in this game. All right, I'll throw that one on there. Just one way on the full game. One more play that I'm adding on there, which is, where is that? Auburn Murray State under 157. I know Auburn. This game could easily be in the 80s by the first half, but that's all right. I will take that one. Murray State Auburn under 157. Let me just quickly shop for the best line here for my official record. Minus 110. That's at Bookmaker and Heritage. Everywhere else has 156. All right, Murray State Auburn under 157, minus 110. Hopefully they D up in that game. If they don't, that'll be a loser. All right, that's it for college basketball. Once again, hater, fake losses on my college basketball record, $500 a piece. You could add 20 losses onto my record for just a low, low price of $10,000. All right, let's move on to NBA. Jimmy the Bag, 3 games. Maybe that new viewer, Steve, saw that little bit and he was like, oh, that's pretty funny. This guy taunting his hater by offering him to sell him fake losses on his record. It's kind of funny, right?
Sure.
Kind of entertaining. All right, so NBA, the big news here, of course, is that the under that I was thinking about in the morning show did crash in Sacramento, Philly, but it's because Embiid is out. But if it's because Embiid is out, then why didn't the spread move? They moved a little bit, but it's still 8.
Yeah, he will not be playing this evening. I'm surprised. I think it will continue to move because it was just official. So it's just official. Let's see, when did they say this here? It was at 5:23, so 15 minutes ago.
Okay, 15 minutes ago. I was thinking maybe about taking a shot with the first half under. Let me see where the first half under is there. Yeah, it's 105 at Bookmaker. I could take that one. So if Embiid's out, does that makes me like maybe the under a little bit less then, right? Or what do you think?
You know, we took the under yesterday thinking that Embiid would be out and there would be, less score. It's confusing. The Sixers are a very confusing group right now.
They really are.
They're losing badly. They're playing badly. They've now lost 6 of 7. They're under 500. They're tough to figure out. All
right, well, I'm going to take the first half under as an official play. I could have gotten 105.5 in the morning. Now I'm going to have to take the bookmaker line, which is under 105 minus 114. Everywhere else has 104.5, but I will add that one onto my official record. Sacramento, Philly, first half under 105 minus 114, and the full game is 206.5. No 207s available. I was thinking about giving 209 in the morning show. What do you think, Jim?
Another big part of this game is that George Hill's not playing. He's a very good defender, somebody that you want. Whenever you want guys like George Hill and Zach Randolph on the court when you're taking unders,
right? And
not having him hurts.
Okay, now let's move on to the most controversial game maybe of the week, which is Cleveland against Milwaukee, right? I guess maybe that's not true. You have the Lakers game yesterday. It was super controversial, but tons of back and forths in the morning. In the morning show, people said about half the people strongly liking Milwaukee, half the people strongly liking Cleveland. The basic argument is that Cleveland is just too good of a team, and anytime they're this small of a favorite, you just take them even if the public's on them. People liking Milwaukee are saying that's exactly why I don't like them. I want to be on the side of Vegas. Sharps are going to be on Milwaukee plus the points. Vegas is going to be on Milwaukee plus the points. I want to be on Milwaukee plus the points. Did I sum that up well?
You did.
That's the argument. Jim wants to be on the side of the public and against the supposed. We don't know if the Sharps are on Milwaukee necessarily here. Maybe they stayed off it. I'm assuming that the public is on Cleveland. Jim, you took Cleveland at minus 1.5. That line has not really moved that much. 1.5 is still available, although most places now have 1. Heritage still hanging 1.5, which is interesting. Heritage still having a slight lean towards Cleveland. Do you have anything new to say about this game, Jim?
I'm taking. So now the reason why the Bucks are being bet is because they got they have Snell, Terry, and Dellavedova back. So we didn't know that this morning. But I'm taking a team that's won 18 out of 19 games with a 1 point. When I sent it into my local, I got 1 point. But at minus 1.5, this is great. I feel very comfortable. Now, I know James Ross is right. Bucks win outright tonight. But I just think this is how could I not take this? You're being gifted a team that's won 18 out of 19 games against an average team that plays their starters way too much. And how's Dellavedova going to play? He's been out for what, a month? These guys aren't really going to help that much.
King Rail agrees with you. He says betting on the Bucks to win is like eating pussy in the middle of sex. Not a good idea. A waste of time. Did he write that himself, King Rail? That is professional level comedy writing right there. King Rail, very nice, very nice. That is just that is not a comment that warms my heart. That just is an admirable comment there, right? That's professional level comedy writing.
That's a nice job. Nice job.
Very nice. I don't know if I agree with it as far as a handicapping opinion is concerned, but yeah, as you said, they have bench issues, and LeBron gets up for the games, and they tend to cover the short spreads, right?
And Trenton asks, what about Jimmy's Cleveland curse? It was fixed, man. I hit with the Hawks double-digit spread, got my first victory in a Cavs game all year, and I'm going to make it 2 now.
All right, and Reggie's doing what I'm doing with this game. Our commenter Reggie, too much money on the Cavs. I'll just watch. Yeah, I'm passing on this one. Although I was thinking about a shot with the first half over. Some people saying that Cleveland was tired, so maybe their issues with fatigue will show up in the first half here. We've seen Cleveland go over early in a lot of their games. This one was 110.5 or 11 in the morning show, and that line has dropped down a little bit, the full game and the first half. It's now a 109.5 at a few plays. Oh, no, now it just jumped up to 110 at Bookmaker. But Bet365 still has 109.5. What's your take on the first half total, Jim?
I hear what you're saying. If I was going to take a Cavs over, it would definitely be first half.
What do you think? Do you think they're going to be fatigued for this game?
No, I mean, I think they need to. This was a statement winning streak to the whole Eastern Conference. They were 5-8 or something like that when they started this streak. They wanted everybody to know just how dominant they think they are and they will be. I think it's a great spot for the Cavs, and with these new guys coming back for the Bucks, I think there's going to be more defense being played. Clearly more defense being played, more perimeter defense being played.
Espirito Late doesn't even understand what anyone's debating about. Spiritual Late's comment, come on, what's the debate? Cleveland here, okay? Pedro Barbosa says, I'm actually on Cavs. I don't agree with the line. I'm sorry. Alonzo Shiver says the game goes under. Yes, I wouldn't want the full game over, just the first half over if I'm going to take it. Cody Brown says they've been in Milwaukee since Sunday. They're ready to play, and that is a factor that a lot of people talk about, even in hockey. People have commented about that. Some guy will be like, I live in Vancouver. They've been here for 3 days. They're focused and ready to play. So if they've been in Milwaukee since Sunday, what day is today? That's the important part.
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday
and
today.
Milwaukee's the city where there's not a lot going on. It's not like they're going to be out on the fucking town. Maybe they have some nice dinners, but that's it.
See, I was like, well, if today's Monday, then that's not a very good point from Cody Brown, but it's Tuesday.
Yep.
I'm thinking about taking the first half over then. I don't think they're going to be fatigued. I think they're going to run it up and down.
I do too.
And I think Milwaukee's going to try to score with them. I think Antetokounmpo is not going to want to be shown up by LeBron. I'm taking it. Milwaukee, Cleveland, first half over. And at Bet365, it is still 109.5 minus 110. Everywhere else has 110, and in the morning show is 110.5 or 111. I'm taking that one. I'm taking the first half over 109.5 minus 110 in Cleveland and Milwaukee. I think that's a decent play. Thanks, commenters, for all the interesting insights into all this. Let me see. Hako Schofield says LeBron will kill tonight. Antoine Seymour says it's not like the Cavs played last night. Why wouldn't they win? Yeah, I think most of the arguments for taking Milwaukee are not because anything, any handicapping reasons. It's that it seems too easy, and therefore, you want to be on the side against the public and in favor of Milwaukee and Vegas, which, can be a nice way to look at things at times, but you can also definitely overthink things like that,
I agree.
Antoine Seymour says it's not like the Cavs played last night. Why wouldn't they win? Why not? Exactly. Jim thinks they will. Exactly. I'm on the over. All right. God, we have talked about this game.
But the next level was wondering if we could hit the NCAA bowl game because it starts in 15 minutes before we move on to NHL.
Okay, we will get that in a second. Alonzo Shiver says, no, Pete. He doesn't like the first. I only took the first half over, Alonzo. I agree with you. No way I'd want to touch the full game over on this one. Absolutely. All right, so Cavs and D will be needed. Elio Rodriguez. All right. Let's move on to college football. Can we go out of order? All right, college football. I gave this one hater. Listen up. When I previewed this game with Drew Martin a bunch of days ago, I said I like the over at 61.5. It's now up to 65, and I did give that one as an official play in the morning show. 65 minus 110. Again, if it lands on 62, 63, or 64, I'll be very frustrated. I bet this one in the over as soon as it came out at 61.5. And in the video with Drew Martin, Drew Martin previewed every bowl game, and I was assigned that one, and I gave a pick on the over 61.5. It's now up to 65. It's still probably a decent bet. FAU is probably going to run up the score. The question is, can Akron hang with them? And, in the MAC game, Akron did. That game went way over, but Akron was too big of an underdog, and they did cover. We saw that from Akron at the end of the year. They were putting up a lot of points, giving up a lot of points, and getting overs and covers as a big underdog. So we could see the same thing here. I'm not touching the side. I bet the over at 61.5. I gave the over 65. as an official play in the morning. That will go on my record. And that's my take on that game. A lot of people seem to be, in the morning show, were liking a Florida Atlantic to absolutely roll and cover. Recently, though, a lot of people in this chat were saying that they like Akron, and that line has gotten bet up. It's now up to, where is that? Yeah, it's up to 23.5. Intertops already has 24, so clearly late money coming in on FAU. I didn't have a play on the side when it opened, although I would have taken Florida Atlantic at 17.5, but it went. By the time I was looking at the game, it was already like 21.5 or 22, so I stayed off that one. Took a shot with the over. That's my play on this game. And as far as the spread's concerned, whoever bets it, I hope you guys cash. You have anything to say about this one, Jim? Or
I do. I think I think that Kiffin's going to make it a statement game for sure. But the point, I mean, it's 24.5 points. It's just too much. I think I think the right track. If I had lean, it would definitely be over.
All right, let's read some of these comments. A lot of people like an FAU. Mohamed Joma. Oh, there you go. Mohamed Joma. Cavs -1.5 and FAU -23 parlay. Okay, and then Jimbo Slice saying taking FAU Kiffin statement game. That was an opinion that a lot of people were giving. And let's see other comments here on this game. Quickly scanning. Yep, Terry Farris says over in Akron, thank me later. Medicine H2O says small lean on Akron 22. Okay. I certainly have no opinion on that one. C-Mac says FAU crushes. And there we go. Jason Kelly asking Akron 24. It certainly is climbing up there. And as these points, I mean, it does feel a little bit like when Akron gets down, their offense will probably still be, rolling, but the defense will be probably, fuck this, we can't win. Let FAU score as much as they want, and FAU might run away with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, White Guy Video Game says if Akron gave up 45 to Toledo, they're going to give up 50+ to FAU. Yeah, so there we go. All right, so King Rail saying, where will the Akron points come from? Akron turned it around offensively in the last 3 games of the season, and I was actually on that in my college football coverage in the last 3 games of the season. I was on Akron overs. They were a huge undertrender for most of the year, but then in their last 3 games, they turned it around a little bit offensively. They didn't become a juggernaut, but they started to become reliable to put up 20 or 24 points a game. And so that's where I think the points will come from. Again, I'm not taking Akron here. I'm just saying I'm on the over. And yeah, let's see. Let's see. Bruce F. saying one thing, LoBag, someone's wife said her husband turned, I can't even read that comment. All right. Yeah, and there you go. FAU likes, Native Queen likes the FAU team total over, which I certainly couldn't disagree with. I'm just on the end. Alonzo Shivers liked the team total for FAU. Medicine H2O likes the team total on FAU. And Hako Schofield likes FAU and over parlay, which I doubt you can do. I don't know which book will allow you to do that, but most books will not allow you to parlay a spread of 24 with an over on that game. It's usually the rule of thumb is like 30%. If you can do that, Hako Schofield, definitely do it. And Hook, let us know which book will let you do that, because that is like from 12 years ago when you could do that shit and books would get beaten like that. But you can't do that anymore. But if you can, you definitely should. Hako Schofield says, love the over, Pete. Let's see. Any other comments here? All right. I guess that's about it. Shall we move on to an NHL? It's a massive NHL card. We didn't even get to touch on it yet, Jim. What's wrong? Oh, shit. Someone asked what size my hat is.
All right, let's move on. NHL, Jimmy the Bag, NHL. All right, so once again, in NBA, I did add 2 plays. The Philly first half under 105 -114, and the Milwaukee game first half over 109 and a half -110. All right, let's look at NHL. What did we look at in NHL this morning? First of all, interesting. I don't know if we agree with this, but Ottawa has been taking money. Right, they are now up to into the -120s. Wow. And you see what happened with Toronto today? They scored 8 freaking goals. So maybe Ottawa will be turning it around. I gave first period and full game under on this one. Other than that, not a whole lot of line move. The big, the most debated game of the day is Tampa Bay at Vegas. Right. Vegas just seems to eat teams alive at home. Tampa Bay pretty much eats everyone alive. Reports are that some Tampa Bay players were notably wasted last night.
I read more stories about that.
No way.
Yeah, that they rented out a club too or something and got just destroyed. They all got hammered. They bought the place out of booze.
This was approved by ownership and hires up?
Fuck, I don't know, man.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean, who knows what these guys' recovery time is. Maybe they'll come in and concentrate. I don't know. What do you think?
I think they were there for 2 nights. So that hopefully happened 2 nights ago.
Oh, okay.
right?
Oh, that wasn't last night.
I don't know. It's hard to figure out.
So if it happened 2 nights ago, then maybe they were hungover, yesterday, and then today they're getting a little bit of a bounce back of energy, a boost of energy, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. It's a crazy. This Vegas, having a team in Vegas is fucked up, and we can see now because they're 13-2-1 at home.
It's unbelievable, right, Jim?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm thinking of adding on Tampa Bay -1 here, just for the hell of it, to my picks in NHL. Let's just quickly recap the picks that Jim and I gave in the morning show. I gave Nashville -1, the Islanders first period over, and Islanders -1. I gave the Ottawa game first period under and the full game under, and the Washington-Dallas game over. And Jim gave the Minnesota-Ottawa game under as well. Nashville puck line at +200, Islanders puck line at +176, the Montreal puck line at +220, and then 2 overs, a little controversial. Florida, Arizona over 5.5 +102, and the Boston Buffalo game over 5.5 +107. And leans I was thinking about, the only real one I was thinking about was that Tampa Bay -1. Be about +145 to take Tampa Bay -1. I understand that there's a big home ice edge here for Vegas, but it's not automatic, right?
13-2-1. It's just such a. I feel like there's information that we don't fully know, and I hate that. I hate having the Kappa game where there's stuff going on that you don't know about.
It does feel that way, doesn't it?
King Rail says, I live in Vegas, had friends from work party with Knights and Lightning players yesterday.
I mean, the Knights, you got to figure, who knows when they're partying? Could be any night, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you'd think you'd get bored.
Get it out of you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, baby. I probably partied for 1.5 years before I was even thinking about getting bored. All right, you know what I'll do? I'm going to do it. I'm going to have a little bit of balls here, Jim. I'm going to throw on Tampa Bay -1 as an official play. So if Tampa Bay wins by 1, it's a push. I'm going to do it, Jim. Right now, the line I will get very similar to what I would have gotten in the morning. Best money line is -127. That's BetOnline and SportsBetting.ag. And the best puck line, let me just go to puck line.
Rich Banks says he was at that party. So
okay.
Rich Banks, give us some info, man.
These commenters are at these commenters are hanging out in Vegas, partying with the athletes who come and play at the Knights. These guys are really living, Jim. Are these guys lying? Are we sure about this?
No. Rich Banks does big things, man.
And King Rail too.
Oh, for sure, man.
These guys, I mean, big things is big things, but they're partying with fucking going to the actual parties that the NHL players are going to. Wow, that's impressive. These guys know how to live. These guys know how to have a good time in life, don't they?
They do.
God damn.
And we're making money.
Yeah, so I'm taking Tampa Bay -1. The money line part of that is up -127. I already bet this one early in the morning, and it's about where I would get it right now. And the puck line part of that will be +225. That's the line currently. Best line right now at BetOnline and SportsBetting.ag, and also the Greek. So I'm taking it. Tampa Bay -1. Money line -127, puck line +225, and I actually have my -1 calculator right here. You see this shit, Jim? I'm going to calculate it right now to tell you what exactly those odds would be, and that is +143. Tampa Bay -1, +143. Just made my own -1 line there. I'm taking it, Jim.
I like it.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about in terms of the NHL tonight?
No, I mean, I beat the line movement with Montreal. Yeah, and there's James Vegas coming in and says, Jimmy, I told you last night Stamkos was destroyed at MGM. That was last night.
That was last night.
You're right. That was last night.
But, I mean, can he recover in a day? I think maybe he can. You know what I'm saying? No?
I don't think he cares. They're the best team in the league. I think he's just I don't know. It's a tricky spot. James Ross is on the Isles puck line. I'm on the Isles puck line. I like that.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that hockey game alone for sure.
All right, I'm taking a shot with it. Again, if it loses, that's the point. That's the important point when you're making these bets. If it loses, will you look back and be like, will you say, I'm okay with that? Or will you look back on it and say, what was I thinking? I was being rash. I was being irresponsible. I was being stupid. I'll be okay with this. Someone's going to fucking beat the Kings at home at some point. The Knights. You know what I'm saying? And if not Tampa Bay, then who? If not Tampa Bay, then who? If not now, when?
No, those are good points, man.
If not by more than 1 goal, then by how many? I ask you that, Jim.
Take those 20-something booze bags.
I'm taking it. Tampa Bay -1. I'm taking it. And Elio Rodriguez just came on it, and he's on Vegas -1, which is a massive line there.
Yeah.
All right. Me and Elio Rodriguez going head to head. I might be on the wrong side here, but yeah. Wow. Okay. We'll see. We'll see. Anything else we want to get to, Jim? Jimmy the Bag.
No, I'm just curious that Panthers Coyotes, did that move in my favor or not?
Let's look at that. The Panthers and
I got
Coyotes.
Plus 102.
Panthers and Coyotes has not moved at all. Okay. It is still at plus 102, and the Boston Buffalo game actually has moved a little bit against you, Jim. It's now some money came in on the under. It's now up to plus 116, 117 at Bookmaker, but the Florida Arizona game has not moved at all.
Interesting. I was. And what about with your Capitals play?
Oh, the Dallas game.
Yeah.
I took the over, and that line has not moved at all. A little bit. I mean, it's that line. Oh, actually, yeah, it has. Actually, it's now moved to the under. It's now 5.5 plus 100 at BetOnline, and I took it in the morning at minus 106. So a very tiny move favoring the under, but not much at all. And yeah,
sweet.
Yeah. That's about it. And the Ottawa game, as expected, has moved in our favor. We got it at minus 115, I believe. It's now down to minus 128 on the under at Pinnacle.
Wow.
Bookmaker has minus 120. That's what I would have expected, right?
Yeah.
So that's nice to see, but also expected. I did throw on Tampa Bay minus 1 as an additional pick. Let's get to some comments. What comments might be coming in, and then we'll wrap this shit up. Let's see. Wow, James Ross says the only way the Golden Knights lose at home is if they do not show up for the game, laughing my ass off. I mean, at some point you have to assume that it's going to erode this massive home ice edge, right? I mean, when people become aware of it, people are going to be like, all right, we have to bear down when we go there, or we're going to eat an L.
Well, they say that these guys, they outwork every team. Like even the Penguins were like, man, these Golden Knights are just forechecking machines. They're outworking every team they're playing. I've always liked Jared Glenn. I thought he got a bad rap getting the boot from Florida, and they put together a great team. McPhee handling his business. It's a very very impressive.
And come to think of it, like maybe if there's one team that doesn't care about winning here, it's Tampa Bay. I mean, this is a team that's been fucking killing it game in and game out. Now they're in Vegas. Maybe they're like, we deserve this vacation. Let's party it up. Mail it in, eat a loss, and then pick it up, the next game.
And they go into Vegas 3-0 on the road trip.
Yeah. That might be, that might be what it is. Psychologically, it's that all these professional athletes work so hard, and so when they go into Vegas, it's not just that, like, they get subconsciously distracted. Maybe consciously, they're like, we've worked so hard all year, we're going to eat a loss here, take a break, and then start working hard again after we leave Vegas. It might be conscious, Jim.
It might be. It's crazy. This is just nuts. I can't believe these guys are. You think that these pros aren't going to have the same needs that we have? I'm shocked.
But since they also don't have the same finances that we have. So maybe their lives are just completely unrecognizable to us, which is wow. All right, we'll see. I might be eating a loss here. The more I talk about it, the more I'm thinking I made a mistake here. But I bet it. And it's in my lean column here, and I'm taking it. Tampa Bay -1. Hopefully they show up and care about getting a win here.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's some pride in them. Be like, well, no one else in the NHL can win here, but we can. And they come in and meet the Knights' effort, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to stay off of it and watch it.
McGodster says 10-foot pole game totals. All right, in games like these, at least you want to be getting we're not exactly sure what to expect. You want to be getting an underdog line, so at least, the volatility works in your favor. All right, I guess that's about it. Should we sum everything up, Jim?
Yeah, we should sum everything up. And then also in 1 hour, I have my live Beat the Bag wrap-up show. So come join me in 1 hour. I would love that if you guys could.
All right, let's wrap it up. We're not going to go over the college basketball plays that we gave because most of them have already started, and there's a whole bunch of them. The plays that we did add, you didn't add anything except for college basketball. You didn't add anything, did you?
Didn't add anything.
Didn't add anything. I added a few. I added the Philly game first half under 105 -114. The Milwaukee game first half over 109.5 -110. And I threw on Tampa Bay -1. We'll see how that turns out for me.
They do want best bets.
Oh, God. I don't know. They've already started best fucking bets. I don't fuck. My best bet, Tampa Bay -1. There you go. No, I'm kidding around. I don't know what a fucking best bet is.
That's a tough one. I would say my best bet, I think the Islanders are going to take care of business against Detroit at home. I think they're going to cover the 1.5 goals. I also think the Habs are going to beat up on this this broken Vancouver Canucks squad.
Yeah, I mean, my best bet probably just went off in college basketball. So I don't know. Wow, interestingly, So interestingly, I think the Florida Atlantic game has probably just kicked off, but some late money came in on the under. Bookmaker down to 64.5. Pinnacle at 65 minus 110 to the under. That's kind of interesting.
Wow.
Mildly interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe some big money coming in, just hedging out their action there. All right, that's about it. We're going to wrap it up. Once again, this is the last Loshak the Bag show for 1 week. Next Wednesday, we will be back only for one show a week at 6 o'clock every day for 1 week. And then we will start in January 3rd, Wednesday, January 3rd, with 2 shows a day once again. And in the 12 o'clock spot between now and January 3rd is going to be Bulls coverage. Bulls coverage every single day at 12 o'clock with me hosting, Drew Martin and BMOC, Jeff from BMOCwins.com guesting, and maybe some other guests I'm not aware of, but at least Jeff and Big Man and Drew Martin will be breaking down every day's worth of bowl games at in the 12 o'clock spot for the next 2 weeks.
Yep.
Thanks everyone for all your great comments. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in a week.